Hello, everybody, and welcome to Expansion Network. Yet again, another Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the Expansion Network Ask Julius Show. This show is number 96. 96. Yes, that means that we have been here for 96 weeks, if not more, because we also had like some weeks that we showed up, but there were things happening, but we've always been here for you. And we are delighted to do it because we really love you and we love all the questions. What is this Ask Julius show about? It's very simple. Every single week, we meet at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US, with Kasey Wallace, who happens to channel Julius and their group of entities. And this incredible group of entities alongside Julius, they respond all the questions and all the things that you never dared to ask. Or if you did, you only did it here with us. And we appreciate you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Kasey. How are you?
Wonderful. So great to be here with everybody. I always say Sunday night's one of my favorite nights of the week to be here with everybody and just feeling everybody's love, everybody's enthusiasm, and sending that right back at everybody tenfold for so much love and so much light in your lives.
Absolutely. And we have already a lot of questions coming in. So thank you for being here. And as you know, we also have, as every single show, we have at the top right corner, we have a QR code. What is the QR code for? So because the other day at the end of the show, actually someone was asking, hey, how do I get to know this is a special workshop? This is a special, a session that you're going to have. This is a special coaching session that you're offering. How do I go there? And it's very simple. Every single show, you will see that we have this QR code. Actually, for 5 to 10 minutes in the middle of the show, we explain in detail every single one of these specials of those sessions that are going to catapult you to increasing dramatically your level of consciousness. And this week is not an exception. Okay, so just take your camera, take your cell phone, point your camera, the camera of your cell phone to that QR code. Today it's in the top right corner. Typically is there. And after you point your camera, immediately the phone, because the phones today are already, just there waiting for QR codes. And as soon as you point your camera at the QR code, you're going to be taken to the URL, to the website of channelingjulius.com, to the landing page, the page inside the website where you will see all the information. So if you can wait until we explain what it is, the special let go of attachments to reach higher levels of consciousness. If you cannot wait, go ahead and scan it now. If you can wait, we will show you the details in 20 to 25 minutes. Let's go for it, Kasey.
Yeah.
All right, so the first question is going to come from an offline question coming from Ursula Baker. How do you fix cognitive dissonance yourself?
So we don't have cognitive dissonance, Master. You have cognitive dissonance, but it is to push yourself beyond your current thought limitations and be willing to accept that just about everything that you thought is true has been inverted truth. And this is very, very challenging, very challenging. This means that you are willing to be completely open-minded to accept that almost everything that you have been taught is wrong and that there's far more to whatever is going on. And this is extremely difficult because we guarantee that you have constructed a huge part of your identity, your own individual identity, based on your history, your country, your religion, okay, your theology, your politics, which side you're on. You have fought and defended and made asses of yourselves in defense and argumentative and anger and violence towards each other to try to shove each other's belief systems down each other's throats. And you're all wrong. And so it's tough because it takes a huge amount of humility, Master. You've got to get your own altered ego completely out of the way and be ready to accept broader truths without shooting the messenger, okay? And most of you just aren't willing to do that because you keep seated in the same systems that keep feeding you the lies. And so it's very, very difficult to break away. Your media that's coming through your television, your normal television networks are programming you to cognitive dissonance. And you've got to get off the common media systems into the podcasts, into the offshoot information platforms, and start to dig deep. And you've got to be willing, Masters, to not judge the fact that perhaps your truth has been limited. Now, we still understand that certain things are going to resonate with you and certain things are not, and that's perfectly fine, but you've got to open up your mind and be able to say, that doesn't resonate with me, but it could be true. It could be true. Okay. So it's a lot of practice, Master, and most people aren't willing to do it. They aren't willing to find out they've been eating children and all of their fast food. They aren't willing to find out that the Bible was written by the cabal. They aren't willing to understand who's running the governmental systems. It's like, no, 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 no. Okay. And once you start breaking it, that means you have to find a new identity for yourself. But that's the system that you will go through, Master, and it will be painful and it will be full of denial, but it will also be full of freedom and rediscovery.
Awesome. Thank you so much. By the way, we have Prince de Luz again here. Happy to see you again, Corazones. The pleasure is ours. Great to see you too. We have Jeanette here asking questions. We have Kat 55K. We have Sarah Air. We have Deline. We have Love Lie Lauren. We have Greg Nyman. We have everybody almost, and we just started. We only started. Okay, so let's continue. The first question live today comes from Love Lie Lauren. By the way, as you know, I have several monitors here and looking to one side and to the other just to make sure that I'm able to read everything for you guys. So the question from Love Lie Lauren is the following. Last night while I was sleeping, I had an encounter from a beautiful woman named Hecate or Hecate, Hecate. She was a Greek goddess. She gave me some empowering messages. Upon waking up, I forgot everything, but when I remember, I got goosebumps all over my body. Does Julius know her? If so, can he speak about her? Thank you.
Hecate is the goddess in Greek mythology, Master, although it is still a representation of a form of a inspiring personality type. She's the goddess of self-empowerment. So she's probably coming to you for you to learn to speak your truth, to stand up for yourself, and to dive deep into your inner strength and be able and willing to fully express yourself without hesitation.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question, also live. Deline. On last week's show, there was a mention of chemtrails, and Julius had said that some of these are selenite as part of a cleanup effort. Can you expand on this?
Well, we don't know what you want us to expand on, Master. That's what some of them are. So if you are not familiar with selenite, it's a type of soft crystal formation. It is used for cleansing and cleaning. It's a wonderful, wonderful product of the Earth ship, and it has a wonderful ability to transmute negative energies. You commonly see it. Sometimes they carve it up in different things. So these are fun for cutting cords. Okay. It comes in raw form, comes from the mines. Very, very easy to create a powdered form in it. Very easy to crush. So if it formed for millions of more years, it would turn into quartz. Okay. So it's a very soft form quartz. They're also using it in farming to help clean up the GMO chemicals and a lot of the chemicals that are in the soils. Great way to clean your soil in your greenhouse. Great way to clean the soil systems in farming. And they can put it in water, but they're also talking about using different types of crystals in the water systems too to clean them up.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we have Angel Wings, Amanda. Great to be here again with everyone. Blessings to all, Amanda. Absolutely. The next question comes from, oh, yes. Hold on. It's not complete. Let me see. It's a question coming from Janet R. Yeah, I don't know if the second part. Yeah, we have had two half questions from Janet R. For some reason, they are getting cut. If you were so kind, we're trying to reconstruct it. Let's go to the next question. Thank you so much, Janet. Let's go to the next question from Express New Groove. I did go to the doctor and hold on a second. I've been experiencing a lot of headaches. I'm sensitive to smells and been hearing high and low pitch rings in my ear, even feeling vibrating in ears. Is this part of the ascension?
No, it's the frequencies that are being thrown at you. We're telling you they're throwing 9G at you, 9G at you. So we would recommend that you remove some of the systems that you're seated in your house. So remember that LED lights are also cameras that are spying on you, and they're also secreting energy frequencies. So we would encourage you to change all your light bulbs out in your house. We would encourage you to keep as many of your appliances or your technological devices unplugged in your house. You're being overwhelmed with frequency input or output. We should say output coming at you. We would recommend you get a grounding sheet on your bed and even possibly start to wear crystals that will counteract the frequencies, especially necklaces and earrings for you to keep the frequencies away from your brain.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's continue with other offline questions. Let me see. There's a question from Carmelo Blandino. This really feels like a movie. Can you talk a little bit more about how to break away from MK Ultra programming? Is there a protocol that would help in us in awakening from this mind control?
Well, the first thing is to stop watching everything. Literally, turn it off. Get off your phone, okay? Get off your television, okay? And stop listening to the music. Stop listening to lyrics. Stop listening to it, okay? So first of all, stop feeding yourself the MK Ultra, okay? And again, it refer back to our answer on the cognitive dissonance, okay? Be ready and willing to open up your mind to much further and broader information and understand that anything that has been spread broadly, almost all celebrities, almost all sports figures, almost all politicians, they are all involved in MK Ultra, cabal, elite, Illuminati type of programming, okay? Most of them are synthetic. Most of them are hybrids, and they're feeding you garbage. So the best way is to stop feeding yourself the information and the frequency that's constantly supporting your MK Ultra systems that have been put into your brain. And we know that this is a huge inconvenience. We really wish that humanity would go back to the 1800s, before you were watching televisions, before you were listening to all these circuitry recordings and everything coming through your synthesized devices. It's a constant feed for you, Master, so you really have to make effort to get off the grid.
Thank you so much. Next question from Kay Jones. Will I meet the love of my life before or after my age regression medbed treatment? I am 72 and will be 73 in July. Thank you, Julius.
That's up to you, Master. There's no destiny for you. You create your experience, okay? We don't know what that means to you. Whatever that means to you, you create that encounter for your own self. So to be clear, there's no destiny and no premonition on that. If you think there is, you're going to be waiting a very long time. You create that. You create that. Okay. But the biggest thing that we would recommend is perhaps to be far more open-minded as to what that means for you. Okay. So we would encourage you to be getting straight in your mind the character of the person that you would like to bring into your life, the character substance of the person. And this may be a really great time for you to look at your character and see if you are a match for the type of character that you are choosing to attract in your life.
All right. Thank you so much. The next question from Caroline Lanigan. Hey, guys. Love your show so much. My question is, I had a quantum healing hypnosis session and was told that I am here to open hearts through healing. Is this true? And if so, how or when will this occur? Thank you so much.
Master, that's for you. That is for you. You are source. You are source. Okay. We're going to reinforce to all of you, none of you have a purpose or a destiny that is written for you outside of yourselves. Outside of yourselves. You are source. You do everything. You are everything. All that it takes is for you to awaken and accept that truth, know it to be true, and find a way to demonstrate it. Every single sentient being that descends itself onto any form of a plane is there to know itself through that experience in some way and therefore expand itself as source. There is nothing written anywhere that tells you what you are and who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. Who would be doing that to you if you're source? Who would be doing that to you? That's a program that you have accepted. Those are extremely limited truths, and we're telling you that is not the ultimate truth. It's not. It is fine for those of you who want to remain enslaved, and it is fine for those of you who want to remain inferior to some kind of superior thought process outside of yourselves. And while you do that, you will be chasing a phantom. Chasing a phantom. So we suggest you take a very good look at yourself, Master, and express all that you choose to be. That is from your soul.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. I see that people are already, our audience is already checking on this QR code. Why? Because this QR code takes you to this incredible workshop that we are preparing, a 2-day one, let go of attachments to reach higher levels of consciousness. And we will talk about that in a few minutes. Not yet, but keep on pointing the cameras of your cell phones to this QR code to know exactly what's gonna happen. Next question comes actually from Sue. Julius, you often mention how we are the aliens, and the aliens are walking around living among us all the time. Maybe alien is not the correct word to describe us all. Maybe we should just use the word species, the varied humanoid species of the earth and more. How can we recognize each other in this way and change the perspective of fear that the term conjures in many to compassion and love for all?
Just do it, Master. Do it. Stop being prejudiced and act accordingly with honor and love to all sentience. All sentience, Masters. All sentience. Okay? So let's describe to you what a sentient is. Okay? A sentient is any being that has the ability to feel and to fully express compassion and empathy. Compassion and empathy. And that goes far beyond the humanoid types of configurations here on this earth. And when you are ready to stop eating yourselves in other forms, to stop being cruel to yourselves in other forms, to stop identifying other forms as separate from yourselves, that's when prejudice will dissolve away. And you have the ability to choose that and practice that at every turn. That's how you do it, Master. Nothing magical is going to get waved around your head to change that perception except you. And the more that you demonstrate it, Master, the more that you will inspire it in others. For love is intoxicating, and peace and joy is contagious. And once you perceive yourselves as unified beings, magic will happen.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I just posted on the screen JC Bone saying hello to everybody. For those of you who do not know who she is, she's an incredible human being. And also, we're so blessed because she's a member of this incredible, production team. And, most of the beauty that you see on our branding and signage and everything is thanks to her. She's an incredible, talented woman that we can call a friend, and an incredible, again, contribution to all this work that we do with you. But without your questions, this show would be nothing. This is show number 96 of the Ask Julius show. And we are all excited to have you here. We're so close to number 100. It's going to happen soon, in 4 weeks, number 100. And obviously, JC will also help us to get there, absolutely, as the rest of the production team. It's nice to see you here, and you're very welcome, JC. Nothing I'm saying is not true, and I'm saving my words. All right, so the next question comes from Janet R. She was telling us on the chat that she's actually using a Starlink, and sometimes the connection is not completely consistent. So basically, she's asking, my manager doesn't treat me well. Can you give me an advice on what to do? I love my job and I am a hard worker. Thank you.
We don't know what to tell you other than you must be putting out an energy that gives the impression to the bully that you are willing to be bullied. That's all that we can say. And of course, they hold a looming threat over your head of losing your job if you do not succumb to bullying. So the question, Master, is why are you choosing to stay in a place that bullies you? And or why are you succumbing to being treated as if you are a slave? So with honor and respect, we would suggest that you raise your frequency, act with more honor and respect for yourself, request and require more honor and respect for yourself with respect to the person who is bullying you, and or be willing to walk away from the situation in order to improve your environmental existence. We cannot control, nor can you, the way somebody treats you, but you certainly can control what you accept as treatment.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And JC was telling us, and obviously she's totally on point. Thanks to Sue and Oshun for that as well. It's teamwork. Absolutely. We have a great team, guys, and it couldn't be more like spread all over this earthship. Right, Kasey? We have an incredible team, and we are so blessed to have the team here. And let's continue with all those questions. Thank you, Janet. We could make it happen at the end. It's from Prince Deleuze. Julius, are books a distraction for our inner truth? That's a great question.
They can be, Master. They certainly can be. There's an awful lot of writings that are inverted truth, and there's an awful lot of writings that are spells, and a lot of them are MK Ultra. And then some of them are not. Some of them are not. Some are very inspirational. But what we will help you to know is that there's always more information. There's always more information. So if what you are learning about or what you are choosing to dive into because it's interesting to you, always be approaching it from the perspective that it is a truth, not the truth. Okay. So as you are gathering information, you are remaining in a fully open-minded state to the possibilities of variation, sequencing, and expansion, no matter what the information is that you are pulling in. Know that everything physical is an illusion. Know that everything that says an absolute truth about the physical is a limited truth. Know that you are source frequency and everything is frequency. And if there's anything that you are reading that is leading you to not know that truth, set the book down.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And just let me remind everybody before going into this incredible letting go of attachments in order to reach higher levels of consciousness. Let me remind everybody that we are actually live streaming, broadcasting to several media outlets. Okay. So you might only see the media outlet that you are watching the show through, but there are other media outlets. And what we are trying to do, and actually we have reached a point in which there's so many questions that right now we have a member of the production team helping us with the questions, because we had so many from so many media outlets that we try to be fair for everybody. And we have a place in which all the questions are actually being sorted as they come. So the first in are the first out. Okay, so we never forget your questions. First questions in are the first answers out. Let's put it this way. And obviously, if there's a question that is not being asked during a show, we keep it in a safe place and we ask that question later on the next show, or whenever we have some room to do that. So again, we never ever miss your questions. We try not to do it. And again, we have several media outlets at the same time. So several Facebook accounts and several YouTube accounts and others. So we have to make sure that we follow certain order. Okay. So we never forget you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to make that explanation. And right now it's the time to share this again incredible. As I was saying before, we have an incredible, super duper production team. And what we have right now here is the special for this week. Let me make sure I'm going to share the big QR code, because the QR code, which is a big one, explains many different things, and it still allows you to scan it. All right, so this is the special that we have for this week, as I have been announcing. And again, when you scan the QR code, it gets you to this page, and Kasey's going to tell us what's this greatness that's going to happen on March 11th and 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kasey?
I think that one of the most interesting things that we learn on our conscious journey is attachments, not understanding what attachments are and how low frequency they are, because attachments are from fear. They are from fear. And in order for you to get into a high level of consciousness, you need to release all of your fears, all of your fears. If you have attachments in your life, you're not going to hit the high echelons of consciousness. And this subject is going to be incredibly deep and incredibly informative. Julius is going to teach everybody how to recognize what an attachment is, what has caused the attachment that you need to resolve in your life, whether or not you can shift things or people that you are attached to into love that is not attachments, and how to move forward once you've let go of attachments and not attach again, because attachment behavior is a very, very big blind spot for most people. And since most people actually have a huge amount of attachments in their lives, this is going to be a big one. And you may decide to not let go of your attachments and may decide to not go into the high levels of consciousness after you get the information. But Julius has dedicated themselves through me in this last year and a half to 2 years to really unleash the truth for humanity and really help show everybody what it takes and what you choose and where you need to choose and shift things in your life if you want to live in those high frequency states. And if not, that's perfectly fine as well. But the courses and the classes this year are massively up leveled for personal growth, personal development, and personal understanding of what it is to be a fully empowered being while you're walking here in this lifetime. And this is one of those classes.
Excellent. Thank you. Again, you see here on the screen the QR code. Feel free to take your cameras, take your cell phones, point your cameras to that QR code, and you will be taken to this wonderful landing page with all the information that you need. And as you saw, extremely, extremely inexpensive for what you're getting out of it, 59 US dollars. Okay, so thank you so much, Kasey, for the explanation. Let me make sure that we go back to where we were before. 1 second, please. All right, here we are. Exactly, here we are, and we will continue with the questions. And the next question comes from Cat55K, which is, if everything is a hologram, what do you experience when mastering it? That's a great question.
You experience your emotional growth from it and your emotional expansion from it, Master. So you are on a never-ending journey to know yourself through experience. So an interactive hologram gives you an experience to know yourself as source. And that's what you are doing. You do not take an interactive hologram with you from lifetime to lifetime or timeline to timeline. You take the experience or the wisdom gained from that platform. It's just a stage, Master, for you to play a game out on. And the wisdom gained from the game is what you are taking with you and what remains with you for all eternity.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question from Muse of Heart and Soul. I see what looks like light particles. As I've learned from you, it's the hologram. What advice can you give me to learn how to move it? Another great question.
You're always moving it, Master. Your perception is moving it. Okay. Your perception and your knowing is your projection. Okay. You're doing that. But also light particles can actually be thought coming in as well. So thought entering into your energetic field looks like little flashes of light and looks like particles of light also. So that could also be recognizing thought coming into your energetic field. But your perception is driving your hologram, Master. You're doing it. So we would just suggest that you become aware that you are doing it and then use your way to shift and change it through your emotional guidance.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question from Elizabeth Wolf. Hi, Julius. None of the doctors can help me with the cherry angioma, red spots on the body. Do you have any advice? What is the cause of it? Thank you.
We would say they're toxins. They're toxins in your body. We think we answered this question. Somebody else was talking about these questions before. So you have metals and parasites in your body, more than likely plastic, metal, and parasites in your body. And that's what's coming out. It's also, vaccinations. It's also the toxicities. It's also dairy that's in your body that's coming out. So think about parasites, metals, and plastics that are working their way out of your body.
Wonderful. Next question from Ethan Horton. By the way, we have to acknowledge that, we're having new members of our audience every single show. And, one of the things that we like the most is that you keep on asking questions. We really appreciate that you guys are not on the shy side of things and you ask questions. We really love it because we can contribute to your lives, and doing that, we contribute to everybody's. All right. So Ethan Horton, Hello, Julius. I had a dream once of a deep blue being telling me to hold out my hand and gave me a black pointed cube in my left hand and said, "This is a gift." Can you help me understand, please?
We would suggest that you ask that being to make that more clear to you. So that is between you and that version of yourself Master. So that big blue bean is you. We're going to tell you that it's an avian. It's an avian version of yourself. And we would suggest you open up a dialogue for you to receive that information. We don't believe it's appropriate to put it on this public platform for you.
All right, fair enough. Next question, Dirk Thornton. Hey, Julius, sending love and light. I've always had a thing for counting since I was younger. I'm always multiplying and counting. Is this because of the sacred geometry that this realm is made up of?
Actually, we would say that you're one of the formulators that helped to create the holographic projection in the matrix. That's where that comes from.
All right, JC Bone has a question. Let's answer it. There are still so many Freemason symbols, pillars, and checkered flooring in the White House. Why do you think they haven't gotten rid of it?
We think that they will, Master. We actually still believe they're going to demolish the whole thing, and they're going to set up house someplace else. So that's actually still the plan. But remember, Master, it takes time. Takes some time for disclosure and revealment to take place. But we will tell you they have removed quite a lot of it. Okay. And they're still working on some of that, but we're still saying that there's a plan for them to not even be there. You have to keep in mind that none of the Trump family lives at the White House.
Always. Thank you so much. Next question from Hilda B. Clones have the same programs as the original person, but not necessarily the original soul. How do the personality and talents of the clone are shaped by an inserted soul belonging to someone else?
So clones are programmed, Master. They're also programmed. Okay. So your personality is mostly shaped by your altered ego. That's the truth. And so there's very little differentiation between the person who's been cloned and the clone. Okay. And you have to understand that there's a connection between them. So as there's a connective response that's constantly feeding the clone, and they do that through blood transfusions.
All right. Thank you so much. The next question comes from Monica. Thank you for taking my question. I appreciate you sharing yourself with us. Could you recommend a daily practice to enhance focus and determination?
Yeah, we would recommend that you start your day not on the device. We start your day by growing your energy in some way. Quiet your mind and sit deeply in your affirmations and your connectedness of knowing yourself as source. Breath work is one of the ways to connect to the conscious mind. It's one of the easiest practices to connect to the conscious mind. We recommend you start your day with it and end your day with it as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Tommy, is the truth about Israel being the trafficking hub, etc., going to come out? Pam Bondi said she would release it, but keeps stalling. Why?
We think they're going to disclose that. It's the same thing with Ukraine. And most of the warring zones, that's what they're doing. There are hot spots for the teardown and the rescuing of the massive, aspects of human trafficking, not just child trafficking. Are they going to reveal that? We hope so. We do believe that humanity is ready for truth. We believe that truth sets you free, that it is the lies that cause so much pain and so much damage, but we are not in charge of that agenda, Master.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much. And then we have a question of another extended member of our production team today. I don't know what's going on, Kasey. What's going on with our team today? We're getting closer.
They've gone rogue on us.
Exactly. So Greg Nyman Jr. has the following question. Hello, Julius. Are seed oils part of the plan to turn us synthetic.
Yeah, absolutely. So we think we've said in other shows that when it comes to synthetics, people have asked us how many synthetics are there here on the Earthship, and we'll say, well, they're turning all of you into synthetics, okay, by filling you with metal and plastic. They're shifting you into a synthetic being, a plastic being, a robotic being. If you had to break down the description of what a robot or a synthetic is, it's a metal and a plastic being. And so the oil system, that's what you feed a machine, is diesel fuel. Okay, is diesel fuel and oils, and that's what they're literally getting your body used to being. And those synthetic oils also absolutely shut down the pituitary and pineal gland in the brain, literally coat them over so bad that there's no way that you will be able to even think or comprehend yourself to be an expanded being.
All right, fair enough. The next question comes from Ashley Bell Caswell. And after the question, if you give me just a few seconds, I would like to make like a reflection aloud. She's basically saying, my parents have a condo with a view of Epstein Island. What is the blue and white structure used for? Is it an elevator? I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the Epstein Island, but what I'm going to talk is what happened in 2020, which is amazing, is like, isn't it amazing, Kasey, that we have our audience and our guests throughout time have been on those areas that were so relevant to the current, situation in the world. I remember in 2020 that we interviewed people being in Albania, being in Tanzania, all those countries that were living a completely different story. In 2021, the same thing. They were living a completely different story that compared to the one that the rest of the world were living. They had no lockdowns. They were living freely, etc., etc., etc. So all this to say, what an incredible audience we have, and like we can make sure that we always have a presence because we are all one, as you always say, and as Julius says all the time. So Epstein Island, for those who are not in the US, Epstein Island is famous, unfortunately is infamous because what happened in that island apparently, and what happened with, let's say, celebrities and other people. But it's not me to explain it. If you Google it, you will easily understand what happened in the island. And her question is, what is the blue and white structure used for? Is it an elevator?
No, it's not an elevator. So first of all, the symbolism of blue and white stripe means children are for sale. That's that symbolism. So it's a pedophilic symbol. That's why the castle for Disney on the Walt Disney World, on the television shows for Disney, the castle is striped. Okay. That's why you will see children in Disney movies, Nickelodeon sets, that wear striped clothing. That means that child is for sale. Okay. So that's why Ellen DeGeneres has it in her background, because, she's into child trafficking and selling children. So that striped symbolism, very specifically blue and white more than anything else, is indicative of child trafficking and human trafficking. Okay. And the building is sacrificial. It's where they rape children. It's where they disembody children. It's where they process children. The whole island is got tunnels under the water. It connects to the other islands. There's submarine tunnels and submarine access all underneath that island. We would suggest that your parents move. That's what we would suggest.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you so much. And let's continue with the questions. This one is an offline question from Ursula Baker. Is the IV blood filtration protocol good for detoxing? Good in general, not good.
IV protocol. So we're not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about putting things into you intravenously into your blood system feels pretty extreme. Just about anything you take in goes into your blood system. So we don't think you need to be that invasive into your veins and into your arteries to clear and clean your blood. You could do it with oxygen. Oxygen is far less invasive, and oxygen clears and cleans blood like you wouldn't believe. And you can take it internally, and you can sit in hyperbaric chamber, and you can breathe oxygen, and it will clear and clean your blood.
All right, thank you so much. Next question from Muse of Heart and Soul. What does it mean when you constantly think about someone and are also having synchronicities about them? Also hearing them talking to you in your mind. What's happening?
It's just telepathy, Master. It's just telepathy. It's just authentic communication. Some of it could be programming. Some of it could just be some of your hopeful programming. But you can also be tapping into them in other timelines and having communication with them that way as well.
Excellent. Next question from Learn George. Hi, Julius, Angel, and Kasey. When Dolores Cannon speaks of background people or NPCs, are they all clones or are the people who took the jab or both? Thank you.
We don't agree with following Dolores Cannon. We do not resonate with her energy. Okay. We will tell you that almost everybody in celebrity status is either a clone or a hybrid.
All right, fair enough. Next question comes from Summer. Again, by the way, nice to see you all of you that you keep on coming into the show, even if it's a little bit late. The next question from Summer is why were Jewish people really killed during World War II?
So everything is about human trafficking, Master, human trafficking and sacrifice. So that's a big reason. So it's most of it is satanic rituals. That's what a good portion of that is. As with any and all genocidal forms and aspect, and it also has to do with the Zionists. Okay, so what's interesting is you think that the Germans were killing the Jews, but the Jews were killing the Jews. Okay, so who leads the Germans are the Zionist Jews. So the German German ethnicity comes from the Zionist Jews. So the Zionist Jews were punishing the Jewish people who would not conform to the satanic rituals.
All right, fair enough. And I'm going to post right now a common question. Actually, it's for us. It says, Angel, where are the old shows as they are not on YouTube? Thank you. So as far as I know, I think that you are connected through the Channeling Julius channel on YouTube, Cat55K. I would recommend you that you go to the Expansion Network YouTube channel, and you will most likely find them there. We've been for a long time, long time, airing and broadcasting and interviewing. By the way, I forgot to say something also incredible that happened with us or with one of our guests. Actually, we interviewed someone that was very close to that border between Israel and Palestine in October 7th. Yeah, I think it was 2 years last year. No, 2 years ago exactly. So we really have attracted people that have been in really relevant places in relevant times on this Earthship. So again, I will go there. You can also try the Facebook channel. If you go to Facebook, to the Expansion Network channel or account, you will also see the videos there. And actually, I think that we have had more, let's say, hiccups. Let me use these words so we don't get banned. So we have had many less hiccups on Facebook. So the likelihood of you finding absolutely all the shows we've done at Expansion Network is higher if you go to the Facebook Expansion Network channel. And this is what it is, right? We don't have any favoritism for anybody. It's just
Well, if I may, Angel, say something. So, if all of you may or may not be aware of this, but the shows prior to 2023, The shows up to 2023 are being taken down because of the other person that was in that show with me. That's part of the legal agreement in the divorce. So unfortunately, those programs have to be taken down to the best of our ability. And so that's why you may not be seeing any of the programming prior to 2024 for us. Okay. That does not include Angel's shows that he has done on the network, with other people on his show. So those are probably still out there. But with the legal agreement with the divorce, we had to take everything, or we are attempting to take everything down that had my ex-husband in it. So that could be why you are not seeing the quote unquote older shows. But you are more than welcome to go back and catch everything to January of 2024 for the shows.
Actually, Jess, thank you for the update. Kasey, thank you for saying that. And actually, a member of the team is just saying that shows before January 2024 are no longer available. So shows, we're talking about the Ask Julius show, shows 1 to 48 are not available. How interesting it is, Kasey, that it showed 96 today. Amazing. Speaking of serendipities, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Greg. I was hearing Greg in the background. I think it was. Nice to hear your voice live as well. Let's go for the next question that comes from, let me see whose turn it is. It's Turk Thornton. Anything like the corners of walls, stairs, the ends of angles. I've just always counted LOL, trying to figure out why I do this. Maybe it's some kind of reminder. Thank you always.
Yeah, thank you. So straight angles are a distraction away from interdimensional gateways.
All right. Thank you so much. Ethan Horton. What race is avians? I'll start doing all the research I can.
Avians are the beans that you're talking about. So they're tall and blue, and they're from. You can Google the avians, the blue avians, and we think that there's probably some information on them.
Excellent. All right, then this is probably going to be the last question of the show from Summer. Question: why is there no proof or videos or pictures of reptilian people in this day and age when everyone has cameras and everything is on surveillance?
There are actually, Master. You're just not seeing them. But most reptilians are shapeshifters, and the ones that surface from the inner earth. So there are military bands of reptilians that live in the fourth level of the earth, and they do surface the earth, but they generally come out in the gateways and stay pretty hidden in the mountains where the volcanoes are, where the pyramids are. Obviously, the North and South Pole, of the Earthship, and then a lot of them don't do well in the sunlight. So a lot of them are more, nighttime travelers. Their eyes, the reptilian eyes, operate better in the moonlight than the direct sunlight. So a lot of them are more nighttime beings if they're in reptilian form. If they want to be out in the sun, they generally have to shapeshift themselves.
And the last question now, it is going to be the last question of the show from Adrienne. Who or what entity controls Trump or the government? I always tell people to stop being upset with him because he has a boss too.
We can't speak of that to you at this time.
All right, so that was the last question of the show. We have been catching up with questions from previous shows. It's been an amazing show. Again, incredible questions. We really appreciate you all for being with us. We will be back. Today is the 2nd, so that means that on the 7th of March, we will be here. This week is an incredible week. It's going to be a week of victory, a week of light and love. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Any last words, Kasey?
Thank you for that, Angel. And thank you to everybody for your amazing, amazing support, sending that right back out to everybody. I will be traveling next week, so you'll catch me in my Airbnb for the show, but it should be fun and very much looking forward to that. Asking everybody for just a little bit of extra energy boost pushed my way this week. If you have the mindset and the heart space to do it, I would really, really appreciate it very much. So thank you all for everything that you do for me and for Angel and for everything here at Channeling Julius. And I love you so, so much. And we'll be back with you next Sunday.
Absolutely. We'll be back next Sunday. Remember, it will be 97th show of the Ask Julius Show. Get ready with your questions. We have a lot of questions that we still have to ask and many others that you will be asking next week. We really look forward to meeting with you again. Thank you so much for showing up. And please, this week, make sure you send us and send Kasey an additional stream of love and light. Really, really appreciate it. You can't imagine how much we love you all from the Expansion Network team and from the Ask Julius Show. See you soon. Goodbye.